Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium Podcast with Lee and Josh.
Episode 62.
Dose. Seis dose.
I've been gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Combined. The whole week, and then whenever we shot the last one, and today's Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably 2 weeks.
I guess so, yeah.
Since I've seen you.
About 2 weeks.
Roughly.
Feels good to see each other again. Not to not see each other.
Yeah.
I was missing you.
It didn't feel good. It feels good now.
Yeah, it feels good to be reunited.
Back.
And it feels so good.
That's a song.
That could be the episode title.
I like it.
Yeah, you were at the beach. Mm-hmm. How was that?
I might as well have been in the hospital. No. Starting out, it was great.
Yeah.
Going to the beach, it's hard to not have a good time at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're sick for 6 of the 7 days.
Well, at least you got 1 day in.
Yeah. But it was great. We went with Anna's family. We had a lot of fun. Good food. Played a lot of dominoes and stuff.
Yeah.
Just hung around.
Nice.
Everybody got to hang out with Carolina. It was good.
Yeah.
Double red flags the whole time.
So you went surfing.
People did.
Yeah.
And windy.
Oh, gosh,
You couldn't even get on the sand. It would like sting you. It looked like snow at points. And it would like blow up on the big boxes that they put the umbrellas and chair stuff.
Yeah.
Like it looked like snow drifts of sand swept up on those things. It was.
Well, I'm glad you survived.
Yeah.
And you're back now.
Yeah. We got there Saturday.
Anything other than like being sick the whole time that was memorable? Where'd y'all go?
Orange Beach.
Orange Beach. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good place to go.
And we were as close to Florida as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were 100 yards from the bridge to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So
you are like right next to the Gulf, the restaurant right there. Isn't that the...
We were close to... Everything's close down there.
The restaurant that's made out of shipping containers?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't
it's
see
like right there by the bridge.
We went to DeSoto's, which is like a go-to spot.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was fun. Had 103.3 fever.
You and Jason were in the same boat last week then. Because he had 103 like all week.
Is that why he was so zombified just then, earlier?
I think he's over it now.
Yeah, but it's still... It takes a lot out of you.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he looked any weirder than he normally does.
He wasn't as peppy when I came over.
Yeah.
He's
that
like,
could be it.
Hey, Mr. Lee.
Yeah. Maybe he's just like calming down a little bit.
Well, yeah, maybe that too. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you didn't have fun at the beach.
No. It was fun. I'm going to try it again in a couple weeks when we go back.
With us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
I'm excited. We're going to the beach June sometime, mid-June.
The 11th through the 15th or something? 10th through the 14th?
It'll be us, you guys, and the Gambles.
Yep.
We've had the Peyton on before, so we'll probably have him that week.
We'll shoot down there again.
More than likely.
The most talked about episode we have is Vitamin B. Vitamin Beach.
Vitamin C. Oh, did we do?
Vitamin Beach.
Vitamin Beach.
Yeah.
That's the most talked about episode?
When we and you just told stories about going to the beach back and forth, that's the one that, when I talk to people about the podcast, that's the one they talk about.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Stories are...
Yeah.
People like stories.
That's a good... I want to know what people like.
Yeah.
And we'll do more of whatever you guys like.
Yeah.
Just
except most of the stories I told Peyton was with me on those, so it'll be fun. You and that kid.
Maybe we can have
what was the kid?
Huh?
That slept in the rocks.
Oh, Preston?
Preston.
Yeah. I want to have Preston on.
All right. Bring him on.
We'll talk to him. New update in my life. You can't see it from this angle, but behind you is
a mess.
Destruction because we're moving. This will be the last week in this podcast studio.
Really?
Yep.
That's news to me.
We're moving Saturday.
I've been gone 2 weeks and everything's changing.
It happens.
That'd have been weird if you're like, come to the new house.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I guess if you want.
Well, dang. Well, y'all take pictures of this couch then.
Yeah.
Screenshot
this might be
the background.
This probably won't be the last time that we do it on this couch.
It'll just be at the new house.
It'll be at the new house.
Couch.
Yeah, because it'll take some time to build up. We're gonna have a new studio at the new house.
But I mean a new table.
Yeah. But
and a chair.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
We got to work into that though.
Yeah.
We got to move all our boxes in first. Get set
Remember,
up.
I'm busy that week.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
I'm sick.
I remember. Speaking of Alabama and Florida, you have.
I was going to say, speaking of sick.
Speaking of sick.
I got a list of. Is this the one we're talking about? This is a good segue.
Yeah.
Speaking of sick, I got a list.
Riley told me every time that he was on last week that every time I said "speaking of," he was going to spank me.
It's great.
He's like, "That's the." He said, "Y'all are. You say you're so good at transitions."
We are.
And he said, "All you say is speaking of," and then
no sick to sick.
I know,
perfect.
but it's.
If you're a world-class athlete, do you only play sports in your basement alone? Or do you tell people, like show people?
Well,
if we have great segues, I want to tell them.
He was just saying it's not a great segue because you say speaking of every time.
Yes,
but I like it.
Since we were just talking about sick.
Speaking of
sick, I've got a list of the 100 sickest cities. Not sickest.
And we're going through every one of them.
No, I screenshotted the ones we were going to talk about. So this is I found, it was AL.com. I found a list
where I get all my up-to-date STD statistics.
Perfect. I found a list of the 100 cities with the highest per capita STD count. Alabama's got 6 of them.
So out of 100 cities in the U.S.,
Alabama's has 6 of the highest.
We're a 6th.
No, we're
we're sick. Oh, wait. No, we're 6%. Sorry.
Yeah, 6%.
We're 6%. Yeah. I don't know. My brain.
A 6th would be 60
of them. I got COVID or something.
I think I do. So I have the top 10 and then the 6 from Alabama. You want to hear it?
Are the 6 from Alabama in the top 10?
No, but number 1, we have a number 8.
We have number 8?
Number
okay.
8.
Let's do Alabama's and then just do the top 5.
Okay. Yeah. I can do it. Okay. Number 8.
Wait, let's go the other way.
Okay.
The most, because like
number 69
would be the
exactly.
Well, we know why they have problems.
This is the 6th highest one in the state.
Yeah.
It's Decatur.
Oh yeah.
You get that balloon festival going on up there, and it just.
I've driven through Decatur, and it feels like a city with a lot of STDs.
We went to the hot air balloon festival in Decatur, which is a big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We went when I was.
I want to go at some point.
And it's why my pinkies do this. If I try, I have to make my pinkies
because of the STDs.
Man, it rained the whole time. Me and my dad were throwing a Nerf football.
Yeah.
It landed in a puddle. He threw it to me. I was expecting Nerf. I got Nerf full of water, so it might as well have been a bowling ball. And I caught it, and it broke both my pinkies.
Oh, dang. Was it like they were hanging, or is it just like...
they just broke, and I had to go. We had to go to the hospital.
Dang.
And they set them. He set them with the... He said, all right. Put his pen up. So what do we got? Pulled his pen out. Set him with the pen. And did it with the other one too.
That's why they have so many STDs in Decatur.
And then put his pen back in his pocket.
They have no idea how to do things medically.
And so the way they do this is, so Metro is Decatur. Mm-hmm. The population is just over 223,000. So 250,000 people in Decatur. Mm-hmm. That's crazy to think.
That is, yeah.
But anyway, so it does HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. That's the 4 ones they tested for. It's got 1,200 per 100,000 people.
Wow.
So it's not
like 24,000
per 100,000. So 2. So it'd be like 3,000 people.
Oh yeah,
3,000 people in Decatur have an STD.
Makes sense.
Gross.
All right.
57.
Okay.
On the top 100. Mm-hmm. Tuscaloosa.
Dang it, Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
I thought you were better than
out
this.
Of our 208,000 people, we have almost 1,300 per 100,000.
Okay.
So it's a little above 3,000 people.
Yeah.
And so everywhere you turn around, somebody's got an STD.
Wrap it up.
Do you want to know what our high mark is? Which disease was the highest? By far, chlamydia. What's like the slang term for chlamydia?
Clap.
Is that chlamydia? I thought that was gonorrhea.
I think it's clap.
Do you want to know why they call it clap? I don't think you do. I don't think these people want to hear why it's called clap.
Yeah,
either.
I don't think the.
Okay. So
but we need to tell them.
Oh, okay. So we got it in the United States when we fought in Korea and Vietnam. Doing things over there with ladies that they weren't supposed to be doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can figure it. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So your male parts would tend to swell and be full of stuff that's
fluid and stuff. Yeah. Pus and.
So how do you expel that in the field?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
No.
So it's a medical term.
Yeah, it sounds very medical.
But if
sounds about as medical as Decatur's.
But if you're
let me take this pen out and reset your fingers.
They're fine.
Are they?
Yeah. They work.
They don't close up right.
Well, they probably weren't going to. But okay, so that was thank you, Tuscaloosa.
Good job.
Where we're shooting out of. If you're new to us, we live in Tuscaloosa.
Freaking Tuscaloosa.
So
man.
that's great.
Come on.
So that's 57.
Okay.
56 is Mobile, where I just spent a week. No wonder I got sick.
Yeah. Got the clap.
45, Huntsville.
Dang.
All them NASA people up there.
Yeah. I would figure they wouldn't be as bad.
It's bad. 35, Birmingham.
Well, we knew they were going to be high on the list.
So we're just...
Ooh. Is the next one number 8?
Yeah.
Is it Anniston?
No.
Dang. Bessemer.
Montgomery. The capital.
Forgot about Montgomery.
So, Montgomery.
Montgomery.
So they're sitting at 250,000 people.
Yeah.
And they have almost 6,000. Dang. And that's Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Thank you, Kay.
All right.
Kay Ivy.
Top
Number
5
one.
real quick. Oh, number 1. Yeah. Let's just go number 1.
Oh, do we want to do 5 to 1?
That's fine.
Number-
We'll just do number 1 and it'll be done.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Wow. Out of the entire U.S.
They've got about 12,000 STDs
Jeez.
in Jackson.
Per 100,000?
It's 4,000 per 100,000. This says Jackson, Mississippi has 342,000 people in it.
Yeah.
A third of a million. It's big.
Yeah. It's pretty big.
They've got over 4,000 per 100,000.
Jeez, Jackson.
They're number 1, chlamydia.
I feel like that's a pretty common one.
Yeah.
Bless you.
That's my chlamydia flare. Just talking about it.
Yeah.
I'll just do this really fast. 2 is Baltimore. Their number 1 is HIV. 3 is San Francisco.
Of course.
Their number 1 is by far HIV.
Of course.
And that's not being any kind of ist. That's just facts. Yeah. 4 is Philly. 5 is DC. New York comes in at 7, right above Montgomery.
Man,
filthy.
that's tough. Meemaw, get in there and clean the streets up.
If you want to hear something terrible, if you look at the biggest spike of STDs, it's old folks.
Oh yeah, and nursing homes are riddled with
and
STDs.
Assisted living. You can thank Viagra for that. Because at some point, when your immune system starts dropping, so does your sex drive. Unless you
doesn't have to.
Unless you take a
This
pill.
episode is sponsored by Viagra.
Yeah.
Pfizer.
Yep.
Horny goat weed.
Speaking of
Pills
Pfizer.
at the gas station.
Yeah, don't take any of those, Papaw. Speaking of big pharma.
Speaking of big pharma. Wuhan. So
we were right
this
all
whole
along.
time, the right side of the bench
has been correct.
has been saying there was a lab
Something's
in
going
Wuhan.
on.
Something's happening.
China didn't tell us everything.
And it's been refuted. There's no way. Fauci has said there is no way this could have happened.
You're an idiot if you thought there was anything going on.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Why would you think that?
You Trump-loving moron.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense at all for you to think this. Now, Fauci has come out this week and said, you know what? There could be a correlation.
There might be something to this lab. Where in 2019, employees were getting COVID.
And
nobody at the hospital
nobody's
was like,
throwing up red flags.
We're like, we don't know what this... Because they would go to the doctor and they'd be like, we ain't never seen this before.
Yeah, you probably just got allergies. Go home.
So y'all can take all your bat soup and it was natural and it's just what happened. Global warming caused... No, the Chinese did it.
The Chinese.
The Chinese in that lab and that communist president,
Dadgummit.
Red China,
Hey, how many STDs is Wuhan?
1 billion.
Golly, man.
They had their own
freaking
list.
Wuhan.
So y'all can all just chill. Somebody owes the New York Post $1 million. Well, not somebody. Zuckerberg.
Yeah, because Facebook was actively deleting stuff
Yeah.
that was saying that, or they weren't deleting it. They do the thing where they put the little
They're
fact
high,
checker thing down below it, and it's like, this might be wrong. It's like, but the post that somebody reposted something about Bill Gates saying that his new vaccine or whatever doesn't cause any complications. You're not fact checking that. That's the thing, man. Is so you've had this like Rogan even said, hey, like you shouldn't be forced to get a vaccine. If you're over 21, you shouldn't be forced to get a vaccine. If you want to get a vaccine, fine. If not, don't worry about it. But then Bill Gates is coming out and being like, you're not a doctor. You shouldn't be telling people this. Bill,
Neither.
where's your MD?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me I shouldn't listen to this guy over here because he's not a doctor. Your big old egg-headed self is telling me to listen to you, who has a financial interest in me taking the vaccine because you're creating vaccines. I should listen to you. Doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, get your house in order.
Go get your daughter.
Because, somebody needs to get somebody's daughter. We ain't going to talk about that. But,
Yeah, Bill.
No. So, do you have your tinfoil hat on you? Yeah. All right. So, Bill, if you think for a second that you're not tied to all of this, Bill, listen. Bill, put
Clinton.
your money down. Put your pen down. Quit signing the divorce papers. Listen, we know. We know that your fund or organization, what is it? Do you know the name of it?
Billy's Willies.
Yeah. Once he got tied in with Epstein. So we ain't even got to Epstein yet.
Yeah.
We're just going to do Wuhan. So let's just, so we had the tinfoil hats on. So I have some leeway with just spouting off stuff.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. So
as long as you say it into the mic.
Yeah, it's in the mic. I'm all over the mic.
There you go. That's the way I like to see it.
That's why I'm sick. Okay, Bill.
Oh, that's way better.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's tickling my chin.
I got something that'll tickle your chin. Bill.
Bill, listen. Okay, here, Bill.
Billy.
I'm not above saying you paid for the Wuhan lab. Just spill your drink.
Are you just making stuff up
I have
now?
a hat on. I asked if I had liberty.
Yeah, you got liberty to say whatever you want.
It's hot in here, man.
There ain't no fact behind it. Just
I got a low grade
and
fever.
Bill made
I got
9/11 happen.
I still have a low grade fever and the air's off in here, so I'm just gonna go. Let's just say you knew about Wuhan. We could say you funded it. That's fine.
Why?
I know, so that he could create a vaccine.
Okay, calm down. Okay, come on.
That'd be like if I made a product that made your hair grow really fast, and I put it in the water supply. Mm-hmm. And then I come up with the best razor in the world.
Yeah. Sounds like a horrible plan.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's just okay. So you put this disease out into the planet, and then have financial interest in the vaccine. I ain't smelled nothing fishy. I've been at the beach for a week, and I never smelled anything as fishy as that right there.
Bill.
Nope. And then when you weren't working on this vaccine, you were hanging out with Epstein way more than you ever told anybody you were, and your wife outed you.
Yeah. So,
do you have anything to add to the Wuhan stuff?
Bill Gates
is richer than God.
Yeah. And so this is, I'm going to tell you something that's weird. So a couple years back, Bill Gates and his little foundation, Billy's Willies. This is you can Google this.
Don't Google Billy's Willies, but you can
Google Billy's Willies.
The Gates Foundation.
The Gates Foundation. They created a genetically modified mosquito, and that was supposed to reduce.
They were going to release it in Africa, and it was going to mate.
Hold on.
Sorry.
It was supposed to reduce the amount of malaria and all these other diseases that were coming out. They released it in Florida. It's already happened.
Is that Zika?
I don't know what it is.
Is that what the Zika virus stuff was? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if there's any correlation between the two.
We had friends cancel a honeymoon over Zika virus.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they were
a bunch of scaredy cats.
Yeah.
Give me Zika. But yeah, they've already released that, and it was in Florida. And so they've got all these mosquitoes flying around that they've genetically modified. I'm not against genetically modifying things.
To a degree.
Like, all of our plants that we eat are genetically modified. If you go get a can of green beans off the shelf, they're all genetically modified. Cows, genetically modified. Those are things we can control. Mm-hmm. But you're talking about putting these
alive things.
Well, cows are alive, but that has essentially has free will.
Yeah.
To do whatever it wants, and I don't know. Yeah. That's fishy to me.
Yeah.
That's like saying, hey, we released a bunch of sharks into the ocean
with human brains
that are supposed to not bite you as much. Mm-hmm. And they're going to go mate. The goal is they were going to go mate with all the other mosquitoes and create this mosquito that wasn't going to cause a bunch of malaria and stuff. How do you know?
You don't.
How do you know that it's not going to create something worse?
Yeah. Or in 5 years, it turns the other direction.
Yeah. Because that's why we have a lot of the problems that we have now with the flu and the cold and all this other stuff is because back in the 80s and 90s, we were throw antibiotics at everything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then so now there's all these mutations of diseases that are
antibiotic
super
resistant.
Whatever. Yeah, because they're antibiotic resistant because they've been fed that stuff for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with the genetically modifying of the skeeters
or sharks
with laser beams on their head.
Mm-hmm. You ever seen Deep Blue Sea?
I've seen Austin Powers.
In Deep Blue Sea, they put human brains in sharks.
Yeah.
And they kill everybody.
In Austin Powers, they put lasers on their head.
They get everybody too.
Yeah.
Except Austin Powers. But
can't get Austin.
No. Yeah. Anybody that has a lot of ties to Epstein, I don't care what they do.
Yeah. And he had a bunch of them.
Lots. Enough to make it where that was the camel that broke. No, the straw that broke the camel's back.
The camel that broke the straw's back.
Yep.
Yeah, and so this is, I Googled this because I wanted to be sure that I was correct on it before I said it on the podcast. One of the reasons that Bill Gates says that he was friends with Epstein is because Bill Gates desperately wants to win a Nobel Peace Prize. And he thought that Epstein would help him win a Nobel Peace Prize because he was so connected with all these people.
Yeah.
Let me just put this out there. I don't know if this is true. It should be true. There's no Nobel Peace Prize for diddling little kids.
Not that I know of.
So, Bill, I don't know what you're planning on getting from that.
Yeah, except for children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
That he thought Epstein was going to get him a Nobel Peace Prize.
And even if you're a Bill Gates follower, and
if you like
and
Windows,
we're tearing you
computers,
down, and we're tearing
and
down
you're
your
still
guy,
listening to your Zoom.
he admitted to doing business with Epstein after he had been charged with sex crimes.
Yeah. Because why not?
Yeah.
You're already friends with him.
Yeah. Secret friends.
We call those pen pals. Penis pals.
Oh, pen is
Penis pals.
pins. Got you.
Penis pals. Penis pals.
You had to. Yep. All right.
Yeah. If you're tied with Epstein, in my book, I'm not hanging out with you. If you're the second, okay, let me walk this back a second. If something came out about you that said Lee likes little kids, the first thing I would do would not be to cut ties with you. I would talk to you about it, maybe try and rehab you a little bit. But if you were like on the stand testifying and they had all these people saying that he did it and this and that and this and that and they had evidence, I'm not going to be like, this is a great time to do business with Lee.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Let's do 2 podcasts a week.
Yeah. Let's up it. Let's, screw the naysayers.
Yeah. And the evidence, the video
the evidence. Yeah.
Screw the
evidence. This guy.
Well, they need to be a Democrat,
That's true.
which they all are. So
Well,
it's fine.
Yeah.
It falls within their lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of China, there was this crazy marathon that happened this week.
Is it the one where a bunch of bad stuff happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it. Okay.
Yeah. So there was a marathon this past week in China, Hong Kong. 21 ultra marathon runners have died
From freezing.
Yeah, extreme weather. So it says extreme weather.
Oh, I thought it was cold.
Hit 100 kilometer, which is 62 miles. It says that in the. I wouldn't know that. Mountain race.
He really researched this.
Yeah, mountain race in northwest China. High altitude. Xinlin Mountain Marathon began on Saturday morning in sunny conditions, but by 1 p.m. local time, weather conditions had turned with freezing rain, hailstones, gale winds, lashing runners in Gansu County, according to the state-run Global Times. So they're telling the truth. Liang Jin, he is China's top ultra-marathon runners, was among those who died.
Whoa.
A Hong Kong marathon group called the Hong Kong 100 Ultra Marathon confirmed via statement released on Sunday. Marathon group said that Lang had been a favorite member of the Hong Kong trail racing community, regularly participated in the annual Hong Kong 100-kilometer trail race. So he was also described as one of the best ultra endurance athletes in the world. As temperatures dropped in Yellow River Stone Forest, runners started reporting suffering from hypothermia while others went missing. Marathon organizers called off the race, launched a search party of 1,200 people to scour the complicated terrain. The search operation continued after dark, which I would hope that they wouldn't just be like, oh, it's dark time.
Yeah.
Let's come back in. Most competitors were wearing thin shorts and T-shirts.
That'll do it.
Yeah, so this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know much about mountains and their weather patterns. But I would assume that you would have saw this coming.
Right.
Like, we don't have, 5Ks in Tuscaloosa because of rain.
Right.
Which is something that we can predict.
Right.
So I'm assuming that they were like, keep going.
And let's assume this guy of the 22 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like...
Ching Chong.
I didn't say that. Who's like, let's just say he's an influencer.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the weather app?
Well, they might not can get it on their phones.
I bet he could.
What's funny to me is...
None of it, because 22 people died.
Yeah, it's not funny. But what would be funny, if there was anything that's funny...
Yeah, if you had to find...
If you had to find
gun to
something...
your head.
Yeah, is... There's this race going on in China, and we all know the way that China operates. Communist country. They tell you what to do and when to do it. And they're like, hey, we see that weather's coming in. We want to postpone the race. No. Well, I just want you to understand there's going to be freezing rain. There's going to be hailstones the size of watermelons. And gale force winds. They're going to like, I think we can still get it done.
Yeah.
The guy who's not going to run the race, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they've got 21 people missing. That's insane.
Yeah. That's what you get for running outside a lot.
That's what you get.
You want to act like an animal? Die like an animal.
He died doing what he loved. You mean freezing to death?
Yeah. In shorty shorts?
Yeah.
In running shorts? We all know them Nike Tempos. And probably a tank top.
Well, they probably weren't Nike. They were probably...
Yeah. Well, that's where all the Nike stuff comes
off-brand
from.
Nike.
They just go to the factory on the way there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steal it from a 12-year-old, sewing that last seam together.
Hey,
Huh?
put them to work.
Hey, we all got to work.
Well,
They don't have a labor shortage over there.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I saw something this week that was talking about how the labor shortage was fake. It was all made up.
By the bird drone people?
I don't know who this person was, but essentially they were saying if there was an actual labor shortage, so they were associating it with a shortage of anything else on the planet.
Okay.
So Lee sells donuts. Okay.
Or sandwiches.
No, that's ridiculous. Lee sells donuts.
I sell donuts.
And you sell out of your donuts every day. Well, you're going to start bumping the price up so that you don't sell out every day.
Or I make more donuts.
But if you can't make more donuts,
Okay.
you're going to start upping your price because the demand is higher.
Sure.
And so the price is higher.
Sure.
And that squelches the demand to a degree.
Yep.
Well, these people were saying, well, if there's a labor shortage, we just up the price of labor.
Oh, that's how they're getting to minimum
$15
wage hike.
an hour or whatever.
They'll come back to work for $15.
No, they won't.
No.
They will not. I don't care. There's
Because if you can do the
McDonald's is giving you $50 if you show up for an interview.
math. Yeah.
It's a $500 signing bonus at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So $15 an hour, you think that's really going to... No.
Because if you do the math and your assistance is $14 an hour and you can stay at home,
Yeah.
why would $15 an hour make you get up and go to work?
Well, and I still don't get why people don't... I saw an article the other day that was talking about somebody was like, this will not kill small businesses if we up the minimum wage.
That person doesn't know how to do math.
So I up the minimum wage. Cool. You want me to keep the same amount of people that I have working for me right now? Well, my $8 donut goes up to $15
Yeah.
because it takes more money. It costs me more money to make the same product.
And if my dough factory also has to pay all their people $15 an hour,
Oh, yeah.
my dough goes up.
Absolutely.
So now I've got employees I got to pay more and my cost is more.
Here's another thing I saw this week is somebody was getting upset because we don't have these government regulations that say that products have to be made in America. And so they're talking about this whole like used car. There's no new cars right now
because we have no chips.
Which means used car prices are going up, but nobody wants to trade in their used car because I can't get another car. So we've got this big supply issue because all the chips are being made overseas. Well, you want to know how we get those chips for so cheap and your Escalade doesn't cost $200,000 to be made?
Because they're overseas.
Because it's made overseas.
Yeah.
Look, I want people in the U.S. to have jobs as much as anybody else because I live in the U.S. I work in the U.S. Mm-hmm. But if you think for a second, because I did this with Mammoth, okay? Mammoth wanted to make shirts and shorts, button-up shirts and shorts. I priced everything out. I said, I want to do made in the U.S.
Put the sticker on it. That flag sticker on it.
I want the flag sticker on it. I had companies in China telling me, we will make your product for $8 per item. Swim shorts, $8. Shirt, $8. And that was at minimum bulk. So I'm ordering the minimum.
Which means the price is higher.
Yeah. If I order more than 800, the price goes down. But so at my minimum bulk pricing, it's $8 per item. I spec'd it was going to take 1 yard of fabric per item to make a shirt or a short. And I was thinking, okay, I know, because I'm not dumb, I know it's going to cost me more to make this in America.
Of course.
But I want to.
Yeah.
For 1 yard of fabric, it was $12.
And that's no labor to make it.
Here is 1 square yard of fabric, $12. I said, there's no way I can do this. Because I'm going to have to charge.
The shirt being cost $60.
Well, it's going to have to cost more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to cost like $120. Who's going to do that? Who's going to pay $100?
I love you, but them shirts ain't that.
No. They're not. They're worth what they're worth right now.
Because they
were made overseas.
Sure, exactly.
And also, I'm tired of people saying that the only reason that people go overseas is because it's cheap. You want to know what them MFers have been doing over there for the past 30 years while we've been giving them all of our work? They have been refining this stuff. Mm-hmm. They've been making stuff that we have never even thought about making. The processes that they go through. If you want to listen to something, go listen to Tim Cook, Apple CEO, talk about the reason that they use China now.
Yeah.
Is because they are better at doing stuff than we are in this realm.
Yeah.
They've gotten the technologies down. They've got the processes down. It's no longer they're just cheap labor. Because in the 70s and 80s, they were just cheap labor. Mm-hmm. Now they're skilled laborers.
Yeah.
There's a documentary on Netflix too called American Factory. Those people from China came over here. There's a glass factory that manufactures auto glass for like windshields and stuff. They came over from China to start a plant in America because they were saying there's a possibility it could be cheaper for them to make it over here.
With the shipping and stuff involved.
Yeah. So these people come over from China and they are working circles around the U.S. guys.
Yeah.
And the U.S. guys are dropping glass all the time, busting glass all the time. And they were like, based on the waste that this factory is manufacturing, we might not make a profit.
Yeah.
Because they're too slow, they're too dumb.
Yeah.
And they're not precise.
Right.
Because people in China hate on them all you want. They take pride in their work.
And they were good.
Everything they do. Yeah. Everything they do, they take pride in.
Yeah.
Like if they do a bad job at work, their family is shunned.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm off my soapbox now.
Yeah. That's fine. It was a good box.
It's a good box.
Well, because the company Anna works for, Kite Baby, their factory is in China.
As it should be.
Well, but they make bamboo clothes.
Yeah.
What, we're going to ship bamboo over here?
Well, you know that we manufacture a crap load of cotton in the U.S. and it's cheaper for us to put it on a boat, ship it to China, get it made, ship it back, than it is to make it over here.
And another thing is, I'm all about safety. We've oceaned our way into just so much overhead cost and unions. I don't want to talk about unions. They had their place when they were created. Now they're basically like government entities and like mobs. And I have a couple of friends that work at companies that have unions that they were forced to be in.
Yeah.
And they said it's so shady.
I think so. There was an article that came out not long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, talking about some of the manufacturing plants in Alabama and how riddled with safety violations they are, and how many people have lost their arms and their fingers and like all this. So like in that situation, if people are getting maimed at work, maybe we should start a union.
Fix us all.
You should fix us all, but if the manufacturer's
the
not,
business fixes. That's why unions were created.
Exactly. So I don't think that all unions are that way.
Nowadays, they're an outdated thing that has become. It's all about power.
In I would say in most cases, yes, but there are still some good unions.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of unions, Deontay Wilder.
They're going to unite their fists to face.
Unite their fists.
That's a good one.
So have you been keeping up with Deontay Wilder at all?
I know he got beat.
Yeah, so he got
Tyson.
He got beat last year or year before.
Before COVID.
Yeah, he got beat before COVID.
By Tyson Chandler?
Tyson Fury.
Who's Tyson Chandler?
I have no idea.
That's somebody. Tyson Fury.
I'm sure there's somebody named Tyson Chandler out there. Comment if your name is Tyson Chandler.
He's a professional athlete of some kind. Okay. Tyson Chandler. Anyway,
Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury got the belts from Wilder.
Yep.
And
then who's the fat Mexican guy that has the other heavyweight belt?
No. So that guy got beat by Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is
he beat Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua holds all the belts other than the one that Tyson has.
There's only 3 in there.
I think there's more than that.
Boxing is so stupid.
So Anthony Joshua has all the belts other than the one that Tyson Fury has. They were scheduled to fight in August, I believe. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua.
For all the belts.
For all the belts.
All the belt marbles.
Somebody's walking away with all the undisputed.
He either gets
world
3
champion.
Or Joshua gets the last
one.
Okay.
And but Wilder, so when Tyson and Wilder fought the last time, there was a clause in their contract that said if Wilder loses, he is allowed a rematch.
Before he fights anybody else or just in general?
In general. But as soon as Tyson beat him, he said no.
He said no.
Tyson said, you're not getting a rematch to Wilder. And so Wilder has been in arbitration this entire time.
To get the fight.
And Anthony Joshua's fight was scheduled for September.
So it got backed up because
the Anthony Joshua fight?
Yeah.
No, it was just
COVID.
Yeah, just COVID and everything else, trying to figure all that out. But the Wilder fight came out of arbitration last week.
Oh.
And the judge said you have to fight Wilder.
It's in the contract.
Yeah, it's in the contract. You have to fight Wilder. And so the judge said it has to happen before September 15th, which was like the contracted date.
Okay.
And so now...
So they had to do all that to read a contract and say, yeah, it's a contract.
Essentially. But Wilder... So now Wilder and Fury are scheduled for July in Vegas, which means he can't fight Anthony Joshua in September.
Yeah.
So that whole thing got blown out.
That's annoying.
The world title belt. And then now Anthony Joshua is like calling Tyson like a fraud and like you're just using my name to like get clout and all this other stuff. You didn't want to fight me in the first place. You knew all this was going to happen.
Maybe.
Like you're just trying to. And so Wilder, I've seen some videos of Wilder recently, like in the past week, that he's like been putting out. He's been pretty quiet this entire time until last week, whenever it was said.
Probably from his lawyers.
Yeah. But he's getting back to fundamentals. He's doing a lot of like actual boxing. His manager, or the guy that he fired, said that he had become uncoachable. He was relying a lot on his power, and he was like, I don't need to know how to box. I just, as soon as because he's dropping guys left and right. Yeah, as soon as he hit somebody,
and then he got beat because he couldn't hit him like that.
Yeah, so he's getting back to fundamentals. He posted a good workout video the other day. Wilder would have to get 100% better than he is to beat the Fury that we saw in the last fight.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah. The Fury that we saw in the first fight, I don't think Wilder has to get that much better. Because they had a first fight and it was a draw.
Really?
Yeah. They had a first fight, it was a draw. The second fight, Tyson won. And then that's why Wilder was like, I deserve another shot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a boxing fan or if you're a Tuscaloosa fan, Wilder is fighting July 24th in Vegas. Get your tickets at aggressivelymediumpodcast.com. Just kidding.
Go through Josh for that.
Yeah. Venmo me $100 and I'll get you a ticket. But yeah, that's some interesting Tuscaloosa news, I thought.
Yeah.
I hope Wilder wins.
I don't.
I hope he wins for Tuscaloosa's sake.
It's fine.
It would be nice to see,
because there'd have to be a lot of trickle down care to get to the city. That's not really. We don't have really like Rocky Balboa in Philadelphia anymore. Nobody really.
I mean, it's brought some attention to his gym and
like
stuff.
Tom Brady. Where's he from? Who knows?
Mississippi?
Maybe. Doubt it.
Probably not.
Do you know where he played college football?
Middle Tennessee State University.
The University of Michigan.
Yeah, I was close.
Do you know who the team he had the best game ever against?
Texas A&M.
Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah. I tied it back in.
Oh, okay.
It was like a segue of the whole thing. Speaking of segues, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
That was brought up to me. Other than water, we're going to take that off the table.
Yeah.
You can only drink one thing for the rest of your life. Other than water. What is it?
Sweet tea.
Really? A specific sweet tea?
Sweet tea.
What if it's bad sweet tea?
I'll still drink it.
Like that real syrupy sweet tea at some restaurants?
In my head, I'm going to get 10% of the time I'm going to get bad sweet tea.
Yeah.
Then the other time it's going to be great sweet tea.
Okay.
But if I had to drink a soft drink, man, I can't tell you how many times
something out of a can or a bottle.
Well, if you said, okay, Mountain Dew, and now every time I go to a restaurant, I have to get Mountain Dew. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a restaurant and the fountain messes up.
So let's say, just for the sake of it, it's what you want in that drink. Okay. What is that drink? Sweet tea?
I think it's still sweet tea.
I just changed my mind on the spot to sweet tea.
It's a great product.
Because what was this right here?
Gatorade?
This specific Gatorade.
Frost
Glacier Freeze. It's the baby blue one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you wouldn't have a lot of...
I'd be electrolyted up. I know that much.
You wouldn't have as many...
Kidney stones? There's probably enough chemicals in here to get a stone out.
Probably.
Other than whatever's... Yeah.
And then...
Sweet tea didn't cross my mind. It did now. It's sweet tea.
Also, I feel like you could kind of get away with it too if you went to a restaurant that didn't have like super sweet tea.
But this is a world where like you can only drink one. It's not like you're putting the restrictions on you to deal with sweet tea out in the world. It's your sweet tea.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever sweet tea somebody makes, that's what I would drink. And then like I would know which restaurants don't serve super sweet tea.
Yeah.
And so if I went to those restaurants, I could kind of get away with it. It might taste more like water. Like it might give me more.
Yeah, it's better
Water,
for you
yeah.
because it's got more water
Yeah.
in it. Just put extra ice in it. It'll
Yeah.
melt.
Maybe.
But you can also drink water. That's why I took it off the table. Because if you just drank sweet tea, we'd probably die at some
Yeah.
point.
Oh, for
But-
sure.
So water and sweet tea.
Oh, I get water too?
Yes.
Oh,
That's what
fantastic.
I mean. Taking water off the table, you can still have water.
Yeah, fantastic.
But other than water,
Still going sweet
sweet.
tea.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That's the one drink that it's like you don't really get tired of.
And yeah, unless it's real sweet, it's not going to like mess your stomach up.
Yeah, but if it's real sweet, add some water in.
True. But it's also in this world, it's the sweet tea you want.
Yeah. I'm fine with it not necessarily being the sweet tea that I want and just being the world's sweet tea that they make.
Yeah.
Because there's variations of sweet tea.
I changed my 3 wishes
Oh yeah?
from a genie. My third one is to never get sick again.
That's a pretty good one.
And then you can keep my other 2. if it comes to
Keep my
like,
other 2.
Like that's a little heavy for one wish. Be like, okay, you can have the other ones then.
Yeah,
Just
you get these
no
back.
virus, no bacteria, no
Yeah.
bug, no
None of that.
disease, nothing like that. I'm gonna die either by murder or just old age.
Yeah.
But I'd never be sick. I would be at 100% health.
all the time. Like even like muscularly.
No. Well, that'd be great. But if I'm limited, if my wish is
Yeah.
kind of bottled down, just no sickness.
Yeah. So
And I think you can have you can have the rest. I'll take that.
speaking of our like hypotheticals, would you for $100,000
All right.
get breast implants?
How big?
I mean, this is just, you know,
Oh, that's important. How big?
we'll say
Like head turning size?
like a this is such a weird, like just like a nice set. Not too big, not too small, just like it's obvious that they're there. You're not going to get away with like an A cut, like, oh, give me an A.
So not like a snack bag size?
Yeah.
Like
it's
snack
it's a
Ziploc
it's
bag?
it's a
It's
good
a good full breast.
good portion.
No. For $100,000?
I'm just asking.
No.
Okay.
And they're in for life.
Oh, no. Just for a year.
Yes.
And then here's the other side of that is for every year that you keep them in, you get $10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
I'd do it for 1 year.
For 1 year,
the 100.
you'd take 100.
Yeah.
I mean, after a year, you might get used to it.
No. If they're solid, like good sized,
Yeah.
I'm almost there anyway. I can't be. No. Would you?
I don't think that I would.
You look like a cartoon. I don't
think that I would. So what's crazy is this happened. The guy's name is Brian Zembic, Zembic.
If you've got a picture of this guy, I don't even want to. I do definitely. That's so stupid. Did he get 100,000?
Yeah, and he has kept them. It was only for a year. He's kept them since he got them because he gets $10,000 every year.
From who?
Also, the doctor.
You just jumped right past. From who?
I think just a buddy of his. I'm not sure. He was a gambler, and so he had a bunch of like gambling friends, and I think he would have owed the other guy $100,000 if he didn't do it or if he got him out before the year was up or whatever. So this is another crazy fact about it.
His nipples out. He's a guy.
I don't know. So this is another crazy fact about the whole thing. The doctor that did his surgery was also a gambler. And he met with the doctor one day, like went out to dinner with him or whatever, just to like disclose everything that was going on and stuff. And so the doctor was a gambler too. And so they started gambling while they were at the table. They were like playing rummy or something. He got the surgery for free.
Oh my gosh. Those were such big boobs.
Some big old itties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's Tiggo bitties.
Ego pitties.
Tiggo.
Whatever. They're still there.
They were huge.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
I guess you can look it up if you want to, but that's outrageous.
Yeah, if you want the video that I found all this from,
just Google his name.
Was Slow SLOOWMOEE was the TikTok guy.
What's his name?
Brian Zembic. ZEMBIC. Look at him running. Got a sports bra on. Keep them things from slapping around.
This guy's a magician.
They asked his wife how she feels about him having bigger boobs than her, and she was like, "It's fine. Mine are nicer."
If you owed me $100,000, I'll just take my 100, please.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think if he's had it for 10 years, that's another $100,000.
How is this guy? Why does he not have like a TLC show?
I don't know. He seems like the type. After watching that video, he seems like the type of guy that should have one for sure.
It kind of looks like Caitlyn Jenner in a sports bra.
Yeah. Except he's not like LGBTQ. He's not transvestite. He's not none of that.
That's super offensive.
What?
That's not the term anymore.
What's
Ooh, how
not?
about that one? I'm tweaking him like
Google
he was on E.
Google it. We're not going to put any pictures up
No, God no.
on this podcast,
No.
but Google it.
Well, that's a terrible way to end this thing.
Yep. Bad taste in your mouth.
The old Freudian slip. Well, speaking of episode 62,
That was it.
that was it.
Can't do anymore.
I got to
after
go
that.
take my antibiotic.
Yeah.
I really do have to go take my antibiotic.
Okay.
I got like 4 of them left.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
This is
good.
our like decompression every week,
Yes.
and it's just not the same without you.
Yes. I'm glad to hear it. I missed being here last week.
Aw.
I did. Because I was worried about what y'all dum-dums were going to talk about.
We had a pretty good talk.
That's what they said.
We had a
was
half
all
of the
business.
podcast was a business podcast.
That's what they said.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Like I said, glad to be back. Thank you guys for letting us into your hearts and minds and homes.
And your butts.
There we go.